Spaces on X and on YouTube. Well, you already know we had a star-studded cast to join us, and I was so excited to have the opportunity to host this live space. I'm gonna give you a different shot right now. I know you're like, what's that on the back? It's a hoverboard. I know, right? And let me get to the center here. So today we're going to be talking like after the show. I asked my co-host to come on here. I see Ship Bender is here. I see Web 350 is here. So welcome to you all. How are you today? Can you hear me? Maybe they can't hear me. Oh, they might have left their cameras on. Oh, that's funny. But anyway, we're going to get started. Let me just make sure my co-host can join so that we can talk about the amazement that took place just a few minutes ago on X. So bear with me while I get my co-hosts in here, see if they can join now, and see if they can join now. Oh, wow. Okay, I have the cat and the dog, so you might see them in the background. They're going to be running back and forth and doing their communication like cats and dogs do. Funny, funny, and funny. Here is Crypto Queen. She made it. Hey, okay, hold on. Hey, Crypto Queen, how are you? Oh, she was on here. Now she's gone. Oh, well, she'll be here. She'll be back. So, everybody, I'm Yonda. I am the founder and CEO of Genius Room. And today we just finished up doing a social audio listening space live. And I thought it was pretty incredible to have so many talented space hosts that were present today. So, what I normally do is I like to get with my team and talk through some of the high points of today's spaces and why you all should tune in to the Genius Room on YouTube, on X, on LinkedIn, on other social media platforms. So, Queen, welcome. How
Thank
are you?
I'm doing great. Sorry it took me a minute to get in here, but I finally made it. Today is a day of technical difficulties, but I was so thankful for that comment from one of the speakers that he couldn't tell because I felt like we were playing hot potato.
Absolutely, Queen. Like, and I was thinking about it. I heard from a lot of people, and they said they had difficulty even coming on stage, getting into the room. They had to reset their phones. I'm like, what's happening here?
I don't know. I don't know if it's the weather at my house that was causing problems or my old phone. I said, the minute we get done with this today, I'm going to buy a new phone. That's all there is to it. But yeah, I'm glad everybody, all of our interviewees were able to make it in. And it was such a great space. I really enjoyed hearing from everybody and kind of getting to know them a little more, taking a deep dive into what makes them tick.
I felt the same way. I enjoyed each and every one of them as well. It gave me an opportunity to see their bandwidth, their ability to be able to answer questions that's not scripted even. I think Shipbender is going to join us. It wasn't scripted, so they had the opportunity to come in and to talk. The sense of community. So I felt the energy even from being in on X and having the group together, right? And just watching that bonding take place in the group. And then that same synergistic energy I felt was an overflow. What's your thoughts?
I thought so too. I loved hearing that they were already communicating back and forth, already networking. I think that's one of the most important things about what we're doing is, hopefully, they will make it into the finals. But if not, what amazing opportunity just to be part of this, to be part of, this learning network and part of the Genius Room. So I think that would be a great experience regardless. But I don't know how to choose. There are so many great candidates with so much experience. I mean, a wealth of information and just time spent in spaces and crypto knowledge and just life knowledge. I was blown away.
I was too. It says a lot about the talent on these social media platforms. And I thought it was important part of being in the Genius Room is to create these opportunities. We offer these spotlights to governments and to founders and people who are making truly a big difference in the world, having them to be spotlighted by the Genius Room. And then we'll talk more about the AMAs at some point, but there's still work to be done. I think really helping them to own that character, own that platform. I mean, come in like you're the host, like you're the co-host. Don't wait for us to give you those cues, but to own it. Like, yeah, I was impressed.
Yeah, I thought that was great, not having the hands necessarily, but just letting them hop in there because that's, a lot of what you have to do during space. You just have to wing it and take those cues and wait for those silences and, the handoffs, transitions. It's a lot to if you haven't ever done it before, but these folks were amazing. You could tell this was not their first time. They're very experienced. Lots of them have their own shows, their own podcasts, and we have the cream of the crop, definitely to choose from. And I'm not sure how we do that, but I'm excited for it. Hey there. Is that Regina? Hey, Regina.
Yeah, we have Regina here, we have Web 350 here, we have Shiv Bender here. Before we go to Regina, let's see. Hey, Web 350, are you here? Web 350,
I
are you here?
if I could just say, I think Restream. I haven't really used Restream before, but I noticed when I turn my camera off, it drops me from the stage. So I'm not sure if there's a setting to where you can tweak that to where they can be up on the stage with their avatar profile pic. Maybe
It,
I'm not sure.
yeah, it is. And so I'm just going to remove him until he wants to come back up. Then he'll come back up. We're going to go over to Shib Bender. Shib, are you here?
Yes, can you hear me okay?
We
Yes.
can
Hey,
hear
Ben.
you just fine. Absolutely.
Good. It's great. I'm glad to be here. Doesn't let me stream over other apps, but I'm okay right now. I'll just focus in.
Did you know
It's
you're
all
going to
good.
Bender?
Say that
Yes.
one more time.
So did you know
No,
you were
I
going
was.
to us?
I'm sorry. What's that?
Did you know you were going to spend your whole day with us?
No, but it's all good.
Some good quality time.
I spent a
Okay, I
lot of
think
days
Web
with you,
350
Crypto
is
Queen,
back.
so no worries.
Awesome.
Always
Regina,
an enjoyable moment.
there. I mean, you got it all ready.
Yeah, I actually had to help co-host a space right now, but I wanted to jump in and tell y'all I got you. Hey, Web 350, look at you looking all handsome. I'm gonna drop off here in a second, but I did want to come and just really tell y'all thank you. And I've been watching your on the street live streams where you're at events, Yonda, and man, the Genius Room couldn't have come at a better time, you guys. I'm so excited. And again, thank you for this opportunity. I already voted, guys. Make sure you go and cast your vote. It was so much fun to do it. I even thought about trying to do something where I was showing people how to vote and stuff, but I was like, ugh, I've got all these commitments. I'm not able to do it. But thank you for allowing me to be a part of this, and especially meeting everyone, I think is just the greatest. So, you guys, if you are not following the Genius Room, I highly recommend that you do. And just on a personal note, if you guys want to check me out on Rumble, the handle is the same as it is on the X platform, formerly known as Twitter. It's at Queen Connell 16. And then on YouTube, I'm West Virginia Wire, as well as on Rumble. And so thank you guys. We're pushing the YouTube right now. So I will make sure I get sub to y'all wherever you're at on YouTube. You guys make sure you go, not just look at the profile, but go read everything. There's hyperlinks there that will take you to websites. It's like a journey, a vacation. You could just go vacay at Web 350's profile page, see what he's got going on. So thank you for allowing me to speak. I am going to have to drop off. You guys, please go vote. Go vote. Your voice will be heard.
Thank you, Regina. Let me ask you a question before you leave really quick, which is, can you hear me? Okay,
I
she's like, go
can.
vote. Regina, so do you like going to the events digitally? So having that live stream available where you can actually see what's taking place?
So I'm glad that you brought that question up because the live stream or the space that I'm actually a co-host in right now, I'm hoping you can't hear the feedback from it. Let me turn the volume down. I'm sorry. Actually, I do not really like to travel, but I will travel for opportunities. So we're planning to meet in Arizona, and I. All my equipment is mobile. You know, when I first started out almost 2 years ago, I started out with just a phone and all of that, and everything has been a learning process. So yes, I'm fully equipped to go mobile, to bring all of this, have in room. You know, if we went somewhere and got an Airbnb specifically for the core team, the production team, whatever, whoever is the core group of it, and then bring people in, invite them in. Let's break bread together. Let's, and live stream it. So yes, I got you. And the greatest thing is people think that you just need one streaming service to be able to do all this stuff, but that's not true. You can listen, this is what the Genius Room is about because they can take you places from the metaverse where I think Web 350 can tell you all the amazing things that are in Web 3, and it is like the Wild Wild West, but hey, we got to start somewhere, right? We started in the Wild Wild West, so let's do it. That's all I got. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm ready to go whenever. I'm ready to this is what I've been praying for. This is truly because when you start this, I'm sure you can admit that it is the hardest thing to get people to be able to get their schedules together and commit to, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to show up at this time every time, just like a job. And that's the way I view it. I view it as a job. And I don't want to disappoint the viewers and the people that are wanting to be a part of it because we can't do it without you, right? I loved everything that was talked about on the space. It didn't even feel like a competition. It felt like a conversation where, how do we balance things? Where do you find that balance? So yeah, I mean, I'll just sit here and ramble on about just the good feelings. I'm on, I'm on some good vibes right now. And the brain, you guys make sure you use the brain. I love that idea, the brain. And
That
here's the
was Web
brains behind the
350.
operation.
He shouted that out. That was Web 350. He was like, hey, we need to use the brain. I'm like, yeah, we do need to use the brain. Who doesn't need to use the brain? Hmm. There's a thought.
Right. And look
Excellent.
at two shows at the same time. That's talent right there.
Look, we're trying it. We'll just keep doing different things to spread the message, to bring people into our community as well. It's not one person, it's a community. It really is. And I'm
Right. That's
appreciative. Shiv, what were your thoughts of today?
My thoughts. I felt, man. First off, the young lady just left, and everybody else in the room. I picked up a lot of cues. Took a lot of notes in terms of hosting. Saw where I can improve on some things, and really, just appreciated the different styles and concepts that were being brought, and the different, you know, mind states and ideas that were discussed during it. I would say, gosh, I would say, man, that would just be a heck of a space just to have generally all the time with that group of characters, with everybody in the room. It was just phenomenal. Like I don't know if I've been in a more enjoyable space is the best way I'll put it, in regards to just the free flowing thoughts, and one of the things that I'm usually pretty big on my personal spaces is no dead air whatsoever, and you could just tell, like, everybody was so kind of used to that somebody would just kind of jump in, speak up, say something. I don't think there was any point in giving in time and the space where there was more than 5 seconds of dead air, maybe, and that was just kind of where somebody might have dropped off or had some speaking issues in regards to the space, just having technical difficulties on its own. So yeah, it's just I know this has been repeated, but I would not want to be a judge in this space right now for this contest. And it's one of the few times I would have to admit I would not be mad if I wasn't a finalist because I could understand why everybody had a case to be made for themselves. So I didn't realize there was you could vote more than once because I did declare mine. I vote for Coach, but that's my guy. Um, and just being who I am, I don't know if I can vote for myself, but I do want to give a shout out to him, and especially doing that on the way to a funeral. I mean, just tremendous in regards to that effort. So yeah, I just felt like just generally something that I could definitely be a part of and do appreciate it. So thank you so much for even having me at this stage of the contest and everything. It's been quite a learning experience, and this alone I can walk away with and incorporate some better practices going down the road. So thank you.
Bender, only you would vote for someone other than yourself. He is the most selfless person, Yonda, I've ever met. He's always given other people credit. That's just, he's got a big heart.
As a leader, the one thing I was always taught is you only take blame. You give credit to everybody else. You absorb the pain. So that's one thing that my boss has always taught me. Like you never you don't need that spotlight. You shine it on others when given the opportunity. And it's people like yourself, that do make the world spin. So yeah, that's an easy thing to do.
Spoken like a true president. Yonda, we call him Shib Army President. If he doesn't believe it, we'll just put up a poll and have everyone vote. And he usually wins.
Except when that polls against you, which I can post right now as proof,
Oh, I've
but we
got
don't
some.
have to go there.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lots of
it,
fun.
it is. It is lots of fun. I think we have Regina here. I think she came back with her initials. And Ryan, Web 350, how are you? Is he talking?
I can't tell. I don't hear anything.
Are you on mute, Ryan? No, he's not.
He's trying.
He is. I love the background. That's pretty cool. Huh? It looks familiar.
Look at it. So
I'm
Absolutely.
back,
That looks
y'all.
like, well, hello, I'm back.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, Yonda. I can help you. It's like going back and forth. So it is tough when you are a host. You guys, I am going to drop down. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And is it the same link all the time when you do you have a studio? So it's different. That's smart. All right, girl. Thank you so much, Web 350. Crypto Queen, you are a queen. My lady, and all of you, especially Gabby, all of you, like all the spoon, too many to name. So I'm going to drop out. You guys, thank you again. And be sure you're following these people and come join the community. Brains, brains, brains. Bye, y'all.
Regina,
Uh,
nice to meet
yeah, absolutely. It's always nice to put a face with a name and to be able to really connect in this digital world.
you. Yeah, it is. It really is. And one of these days, I'm going to meet Bender. It's going to happen. Is he still there?
He is still here.
Yeah, I'm still
And
here.
So one day we're going to
Maybe
meet. No when, but it's going to happen.
yes.
absolutely. Oh, good. I got an outlet behind me. I was like, ah, after spaces, I have to charge my phone. And I'm like, oh, what? I have 3% left? Did you say? Okay, thanks for the warning.
I know. I
Ryan,
have
can
dogs running by. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like a circus in here. I got to find a private spot.
absolutely. So I'm a, this is, I would never do this. I would normally be better prepared. It's just, it's really adapting to the new normal and understanding that this is what authenticity looks like. This is it right here. So it's okay to be yourself. And this is a start. We get better with time over and over again. And I think that's what matters the most. I think about practice. I think about the people. that spend their time here, and I'm thankful for them. Ryan,
Yeah.
can you hear us? We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Finally.
Let me see if I can. Yeah, I can't hear him. So, what are some takeaways that you had? I'm gonna plug this up. What are some takeaways that you have from today? Like,
Yeah, I love the
what?
positive one. I thought everyone had a, they had some great takes. They had some hot takes. Like I'm gonna have to remember some of those sayings that they use. But I love how they talked about how Web3 is such an opportunity for growth, and that you don't have to have experience to do things like this. Typically we would go through 4 years of college and get a degree in maybe PR or broadcasting, and then we put in our time and we finally get that opportunity. Well, here we can come from all different backgrounds, and maybe we have healthcare experience or tech experience or whatever the case may be, and you still are provided these opportunities. And if you are willing to work hard, be consistent, and learn the skills, you can succeed. And I think that's what's so beautiful about Web3 and the opportunities it provides.
I agree. I agree. My background has been primarily in retail, and then I transitioned over to healthcare for a while. Yeah, I'm at 3%, so I'm like, oh, 3%, no. So, eh, yep. So
Good.
you're about to see more of my house. Oh, and then I'm gonna move this forward. Oh, again. This is just after the show. Okay, now we got some juice going. We're charging. I'm a little closer to the phone than I normally am, but it's okay. I'm wired. What's up? Okay, so I believe he's gonna come in. All right.
Can you hear
Oh,
me?
Ryan. Oh my goodness, we can hear you.
Awesome. Oh no,
Yeah.
I can't hear Crypto Queen now.
Oh no.
Oh, you're there. Okay. Yeah, it was
Oh,
if I would turn my headphones on, the microphone would shut off, and if I turned the microphone on, the headphones would shut off. So I just cleared all the settings and redid it.
Gotcha.
Permissions.
oh,
Troubleshoot.
that was smart.
Yeah, I really like the space. Because it everyone was great, and yes, it was hard to judge. But also it kind of showed how it's the room that is what really makes it, because of all the different qualities and personalities and perspectives that come into it that make it, bigger than one person. And like it, I don't know, all of them were great, but each of them kind of had an influence on how the other acted, right, and talked. And so it's not just like one person talking, it's how they responded to each other, and then we like iterated through a fantastic experience. And to me, that's kind of what makes the genius room. And all of those people are already kind of the genius part, like, they are the genius room part of it, right? So it was really tough to decide who it was, because it's everyone together that makes it what it is.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I was thinking during the space, like we could highlight each of these individuals and have an amazing show just with the applicants, because they have such vast experience and are doing such cool things in the space. So we'll have to put that on the list, y'all, to do some highlights of these folks.
I agree. And I think what I'm proudest of is how people stepped outside of their comfort zone. We saw several actual space hosts that host their own spaces or co-host spaces with other people, and they're auditioning, and it felt authentic. It felt real. It felt like, to your point, they make up the genius room. So it really does reinforce in my mind what we have going here and how it's needed. I was starting to look at some of the analytics very quickly, right? And I was like, okay, so we had about 2,500 views. We had almost 100 posts. And I'm like, good, good. Let the message keep going out there. And so I know we're going to have to increase our frequency on when we have Genius Room. And I even like some people were like, I'll be the Genius Room here in Maryland. I'll be the Genius Room in Chicago. I'll be the Genius Room and to all over the world, which I thought was very, very cool to have. And that kind of sunk in like, wow, this is really a reality.
Going global. Yonda, are you ready?
I'm born ready. I'm born ready, but I can't be necessarily as ready as I need to be without the right people. So I'm so glad to have you on. Like Ryan, you showed up. Like you've been with me, gosh, a long time, Ryan. Like from the time y'all just I remember this so vividly. Ryan and Grandpapa, they just came through and they were like, hey, who are you? I'm like, who am I? I'm Yonda. I'm so glad y'all here. I was skipping, I was jumping, I was so ecstatic and still am to this day because they mean so much to me and I'm so thankful to both of them for staying on this journey with me. You don't know what it's going to be, but you know that you need people. And then I met you, Crypto Queen. I met you in person. It's so funny. We were at Bitcoin Las Vegas. We took a picture and everything, and I think it was Mike Reyes who says, make sure you meet Crypto Queen and make sure you meet Yonda. And I'm like, okay. And so we wind up taking pictures together. We were taking pictures and we didn't even know who we were taking pictures with. And I'm like, what? He was like, wait a minute, y'all took a picture together. I'm like, oh my gosh, wow. So that was cool. You remember
Yeah.
that, Crypto Queen?
After, and I said, "Where are you? Do you want to meet up?" And then I happened to look at your post, and there was a picture of us together. I was like, "Oh, never mind. We just met." But you meet so many people at those events, and you're just trying so hard to, check the DMs, make sure you get to everybody, and it's hard to keep up and know who you have and haven't. So that was a funny story, one for the books.
It is, and it just goes to the certainty around in life events, in those real life events, getting out if you feel comfortable to do so. And also, what happens really from being on social media and being able to connect with each other and kind of seeing each other's vision and supporting one another. I think that's so important as well.
Yeah, definitely. And it's all about community, like you said. I mean, Web 350, for you to be here from the very beginning, that just shows how much faith you have in Yonda and in the community. And, people like that are invaluable. You can't replace them. People that have stuck with you through thick and thin, those are going to be your cheerleaders till the end. So great job. And I'm so glad to meet you.
Yeah, you too. Um, I see you around and I see what you're doing, but it's cool to actually talk and see the communities blending in the Genius Room. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. Uh, I don't know if it was spring of 2022. I found Yonda through Web3 Grandpapa, and we saw it all. It was a daily thing, and it blew up, and then people started to fall off, and then there was like a change, and then it was kind of quiet, but like the group was always there and always working. So it's cool. What is that now? 3.5 years. Um, the goal and the effort never really changed. Sometimes we would focus on other things, independently or as a group or whatever. But it's cool to see everybody, or to see a lot of the people who are there every day, still here, and see it, become something new, or become maybe not exactly what we thought it would become, but it's becoming. Liana's like, it's what I thought it would be. I didn't have the game plan 3 years ago, but it's close enough to what I pictured, and more importantly, it's what Yanda wanted. So it's great to see it happen.
It is. And then we have Shib here. So I've had the chance to meet Shib actually over the last month or so. So I'm thankful for that. I've been in the space. So, like you said, communities for communities. So, being able to go and support other communities that are thriving and growing. That's part of the whole genius room, kind of iron sharpens iron and getting around the right individuals. Shib, I'm so thankful for you. I listened to you the other night. I was in the space and I thought, wow, like this community and supporting one another, what does that really mean? You never know, like when somebody just needs you, needs your presence, needs somewhere to just park, and they may not say anything, but it means everything to them, helping them through the good, helping them through the bad, helping them through the ugly, helping them through life, because we understand life is a roller coaster and it really is what you make of it. So every day we are going through life and it's so fast. You all just think about what you did last week, last month, last year, 2, 3 years ago, Ryan. Like, I've always envisioned having geniuses around the world. Oh, wait a minute. We are geniuses and we are around the world. So, by being these geniuses, what does that really mean? That means get out there, create that dream, create that vision, believe in yourself, empower yourself, and hang around others that want to see you win. So many times that we settle for less than. Why? Why do we do that? We don't have to do that. What we do is we find our tribe, we find our community, we find our purpose, and we lean into it. Oh, I can get on this soapbox and I can be on it for a long time because I'm passionate about it.
I wish I could flash back to those days where you had nobody in the space or just a couple people. Like, I can't even imagine it right now. And how hard was that to stay open and just to monologue? I mean, I've tried that before, and it's hard to keep that conversation going with yourself. You come
I
along.
remember, I remember my very first space was 20 minutes because the inner critic inside of me was like, "Girl, what are you doing? You just started on this platform. You don't even know how to set your profile up. Like you need to put something in the description." I became the self-talker, right? So I'm allowing for that inner monologue, that dialect, that conversation to take place inside my head. And that very first space, I psyched myself out. I was like, I can't do an hour, and then I needed to set goals along the way because I was like, oh my gosh, nobody's going to come. It's been 19 minutes. No, first of all, that 5 minutes is the tough. It's like being on a damn treadmill. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? You're like, okay, I'm starting to exercise again. So I'm going to be on the treadmill. I'm about to do this whole hour. You get 5 minutes in, you're like, wait a minute. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. Hold up, everybody. Okay, is 7 minutes here yet? Okay, then you start to count the minutes and then you start to count the seconds. Then you're like, well, I guess I need to start out a little slower. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Then you start tagging everybody you know to come in. You're like, please save me. I've been there, done that. Well, Bender, he has such a great following of community. I mean, they really look up to him within the SHIB community, and he's a staple of it. Like, he started doing these SHIB recap spaces. Sorry, Bender, if I'm embarrassed you with this, but he started doing these spaces, and he did it every single Sunday for 3 years. Never missed one. Every Sunday. I forgot how many spaces we made it to. Bender, do you remember exactly? 162 or something?
I believe I think it was 237.
Woo! I can't count. I'm doing girl math right here.
Wait, 52, 52. No, I think you're right. I think it was 160 something. I'm going by days, not weeks. Yeah, in terms of that, it was 2.5 years. That's basically what it came out to. It ended December of 2024. So yeah, it was
Yeah,
about that.
the SHIB Army. I mean, through the entire bear market when nobody wanted to show up, when it was Mother's Day, Father's Day, all those holidays fall on Sundays, or a lot of them did. And I would say, Bender, are you sure you want to do a space this, it's a holiday? Nope, we're doing it right through Super Bowl and everything. Like I was not going to quit because Bender was not going to quit. Like, he held me accountable, and I love you, Bender. Like, you taught me so many things. And
Well, I will admit the Super Bowl one, if I had been smart, I just would have done it earlier in the day, not during the actual Super Bowl, because that was kind of silly. Um, Christmas and New Year's, because there was a couple, I think the first 2 years they actually both fell on that, was not of my doing. Calvin J and 21 talked me into doing them because I did not want to do them. I wanted to cancel in terms of that, but they thought it would be cool to do a holiday edition because there was people out there that might, you know, might be lonely in terms of celebrating those days, and they did some giveaways for some NFTs and things like that. So I had some guidance along the way. And Easter, I typically would have not done them, but it was always late in the evening, so I was like, most people are kind of done with their, church type of activities on that day by the evening and kind of going on to their, nightly routine. So I thought that was okay. So there was definitely some luck along the way. But I will say this: um, before I started that space, a couple of months prior to that, I will never forget. I just happened to stumble along and I walk into this welly space, and there's this dynamic uh, personality that I was not familiar with hardly at all. That was teaching the security details of NFTs, and I was really kind of just new to crypto generally, and even that much newer to NFTs. I think Crypto Naked just kind of taught me how to buy my first NFT the couple of months prior to that. So I was thinking like, oh man, this is a cool space. This Welly's thing. It was a brand new partnership with Sheev Army, and I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden, I'm just like knee deep into like all the things that can get your NFT stolen, and I'm like, holy cow! I didn't even realize like this was that big of a thing. And to this day, I'm still very cautious about what I do with my NFTs and where they're at and that kind of thing. And that person just happened to be Crypto Queen. So, you know, real long story short, y'all, because I don't want to go on here, but we were, and at the time, I thought literally because she was the only person I ever seen speak up in regards to Wellies or host Welly spaces, I thought she was the CEO or the dev of Wellies in regards to that. And I was just like, holy cow, this lady's incredible. And we were asking about some tryouts for the recap in regards to everything. And Crypto Queen happened to, we had been following each other and everything by that point. But again, I'm thinking, Crypto Queen she is like way off in space somewhere, but like, not anywhere near a little bit of a level of what we were doing on the recap here, which is kind of our little startup thing. And we were losing some key people, and I just felt like I didn't want to sit there and talk to myself because I was going to basically in the space if that's what I had to do because I needed help with all the information. And Crypto Queen was kind enough to actually say that she would like to join us. And we thought, like, at the time, the few remaining people that were left, we were just like blown away, like, oh my God, Crypto Queen wants to be a part of recap. And I was like, all right, y'all, I got to play it cool. I got to play it cool. So I came back. I was like, all right, Crypto Queen, we're going to kind of take you through this thing so you see how you really like it, this, that, and the other. And the whole time I'm thinking, like, just don't blow this. Just don't blow this. And yeah, so it's gone on to be beyond spaces and things of that dynamic. I know we just talked offline about some really real life things going on with me and stuff I got issues with and that kind of thing. And you're one of the few people in Web3 that even if I got out tomorrow, I would still keep up with. So God bless you and thank you again for even talking me into this opportunity because I wouldn't be here. Wouldn't be a lot of places without Crypto Queen and Web3, y'all. I'll put it that way. But she literally just said, "Hey, you should try out for this," and I just said, "Hey, the last time you didn't listen to Crypto Queen, it cost you dearly, and you promised yourself you wouldn't do that again." And here I
Oh, Bender, that's how did you find a way to turn that around on me? See, Yonda, that's what I'm talking about. He never takes credit, always giving credit. You are precious, Bender.
You're an
Absolutely.
inspiration, Queen. What can I say? I've been honored to be your co-host. I'll be your co-host here in a few hours again, and yeah, we'll continue on and that type of thing. But no, you're an inspiration and a leader. And Yana, I'm not playing when I say this. She's beat not only me, but she's beat a lot of people for. Cause it's an ongoing. It's hilarious, but it's kind of underlining the truth because the people do actually get out and vote for her in regards to that. But she's won a lot of polls for presidency. I've been spotlighting communities on my profile here, and I had a vote for three or four, I should say, I thought were really, really popular communities just to kind of gain some interest. And her cause, Sheep Women, actually took number one and beat out, quite frankly, some other ones I didn't think she could beat. But the Power of Crypto Queen is there. And I can attest to y'all for a fact I would not be considered a legend. I would not be considered in the halls of the Discord of She Army Legends if it was not for Crypto Queen. I was not on anybody's radar. I was not on anybody's mind. She made one mention of it, and I won the following month. And it was all because of Crypto Queen. So I have a plethora of bag of gratitude that I cannot repay her back and then some, y'all. When I say I owe a lot of things to Crypto Queen, so she always knows I kind of follow around like a puppy because not only is she cool AF, but I'm indebted for forever.
Oh, you're so precious, Bender. We are super good friends though. Like yeah, like you said, it even if we didn't have Web3, we would still be friends. Just that's how close we got doing those spaces every single week. And yeah, it taught me so much. He taught me so much about spaces, about professionalism, about how to handle difficult guests, to be kind. I know Bender says he used to be a little bit rowdier back in his younger days of Twitter, and he would pop a spring, but not any, I've never seen, never, ever, ever, like he's the most calm, rational person that I've met in a long time. Yeah.
Phenomenal. You sometimes you don't know the impact that you have on one another until it's just you go the distance with people. And I think that's important is sticking around and finding out what can happen and what you're going to create and having that team, that synergy. I mean, just it's like magic. It just happens. And I love the way that you gave her her flowers, Shiv. That's cool. As well as, I give her her flowers. I'm glad that we met. Certainly, I can see the trajectory of a long lasting relationship where we're building something incredible for the world to be proud of. So I'm so thankful that she said, "Hey, I'll co host with you." I'm like, "Cool, that sounds good." And then when I think about Ryan, I say there are a lot of men that support us women in the Web3, the metaverse, the AI, the blockchain space. And it really does lend to the credibility of we're some smart chicks now. Don't get it twisted. We are awesome. We are amazing. And so it really does mean a lot when we have equally smart and talented men that support us. That means a lot, right? So it helps to really improve our, I call it our social cred a little bit, right? So, and I think that's what I found throughout my career, one in corporate, but also here on social media. Like I said to Ryan, he's a developer, right? And so that's Web 350. And I'm like, okay, Web 350. I'm thinking about this device and I need to talk to folks. I need this app. I need this. And here's this. And I'm going to put my money where my mouth is because I really believe in this. And he was like, okay. I'm like, okay. And then he'll come back and he was like, hey, I noticed this cool thing. And so I love talking to devs. He's my favorite dev, right, in the world. Like that's Ryan, Web 350. So yeah, and so it was funny. We were talking about it, and I was like, hey, you're my favorite dev. You're my favorite dev. He was like, yeah, but I mean, I can work with other people too. I'm like, huh, you can, can't you? All right. Okay. Got it. All right. Because everybody needs to have experience working with their favorite dev as well. And it's just been incredible to learn about the technology side of cryptocurrency, of metaverse, of blockchain and AI. It's just, and it's now is our time. Now is our time to be able to talk to whether it's the governments, whether it's the sponsors, whether it's founders who are doing some amazing things. Now is that time. And I'm thankful for the Genius Room for being able to kind of steer us in that direction. I just had this vision. People believe the vision like I believe the vision because I'm not going to stop. I am dedicated. This is like if I have an IV, the IV drips. Genius Room. I'm just saying. So I mean that.
That's what it takes. That is exactly what it takes. And Ryan, I'd love to hear your experience about being a dev in this crazy bull market. Like, is work just coming at you from all angles?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I got a story that kind of touches on all of this. I was at On-Chain Summit for Base 2 weeks ago, and I was in the hackathon. And from that, both within the hackathon but in the larger event, I met so many people, and the work opportunities are both through the event and outside the event are like emerging. Um, a year ago, I was working with one person, and now I'm talking to like, I don't know, 6 to 10 different groups. But also at that event on Thursday was kind of the transition. Like in the morning was the hackathon, at night was art. Friday was the same. Morning was the hackathon finishing. Friday was, the main event was starting. And I was sitting there and someone goes, "Oh, Shib is here. Shib is here." And they all got really excited. And I don't know who that was actually there. And I was trying to work, so I didn't really like figure it out. But the excitement that it drew was definitely noticeable. Um, and they gave us shoes as part of the weekend. And I Snapchatted it. And one of my friend doesn't really talk much. She's like, "Where'd you get those shoes? What are these events you're at?" And she got all excited. And I brought up Miami to her. She's like, "How can I go to these events?" I'm like, "Well, there's this one in Miami, and there's actually one for women." And I was on the ETH, what is it? ETH Miami, ETH,
Conference East Miami. Yep.
yeah. And I see Crypto Queen on there. I'm like, "Is that Crypto Queen?" And you look enough like your PFP. And I did confirm with Yonda that that's you, but it was cool to see how it went from like being a developer to, a tangent community coming in to then someone new coming in and then realizing like Crypto Queen's already there in that place I'm suggesting she goes to. It kind of reminds me of like a forest, how they say they share the resources through the roots and stuff. Um, so when you come into the Web3 forest, the trees are there, I guess, and I don't know, the resources are there for you. You just kind of got to plug into the system, and then also how you were talking about, meeting in real life and stuff that was happening, and that definitely deepens it because I talked to someone for 5-10 minutes. I didn't even realize they were, you know, Crypto Man 5000 or whatever their name. I'm like, "That's you?" So then when I go to the space, it's a whole new experience within a Twitter space because I know, Mark or whatever his name is outside the space. So I would definitely suggest getting out there, meeting some people in real life, going to some events, because then the digital experience becomes even better.
It does. You're so right. And it's such a small world in crypto. You don't realize that till you go to some of these events and you see the same people and you're like, wow. And yeah, the opportunities it presents are just amazing. You'll meet them there and then come back and, follow up. And it might be a job opportunity or a opportunity to collab or just a friend, and it's so cool to meet people that have your passions and you have so much to talk about. Because I don't know if you're like me in real life, I don't know anybody in crypto that lives around me or that I know really. And so when I get online or when I go to these conferences, it's just like a rush of talking and I can't stop because I'm just so excited to talk about what I'm interested in, you know?
Yeah, it's the same here. Um, I've now met people, at least within an hour of me, but it's
Good.
still basically online. But we're talking about making a Chicago event and stuff. And um, yeah, it's definitely different. I think too, it's going to change because I think we're getting a lot closer to average people seeing the value um, with, stable coins, using them as payments. Maybe it's a taco stand or a bar or something, and I'd be happy to help them with that. But also, when I was in San Francisco, we went to a place and they charged $10 to get in or something, and they had Venmo or something set up or Zelle. I don't know. And they're like, "Yeah, we'll clear it out tomorrow." And they had to like explain it. And I was just looking at it like, man, if it was USDC, you wouldn't have to do it would be like as fast as they stamped your hand or whatever. So I don't know. When those people, it takes two sides though. It takes the recipient and the sender to have that USDC, for the payment to actually have any purpose, right? If I go somewhere and they don't accept it, or I have it and they don't, yeah, if I go somewhere and they don't accept it, or if they accept it and I don't have it, it doesn't matter. Um, but I think we're getting to the point where like that adoption will happen, and from a developer standpoint, that's a lot of opportunity, but that's also getting on one step closer to SHIB or I don't know, Yonda token, whatever it is, then they're on chain at least. But to them too, it saves them that what is it called when they close the money, the reconciliation, whatever that time period is. But also, um, they don't get they have their money while there's no fee, but then they have their money almost instantly and can do things like, earn 4% on their stable coins or whatever. So instead of the company holding their money and making money from it, we can do that, or the small business can do that. And I think that's where the real mass adoption, the willingness to accept it for the value to the people, and not as like I don't even think most people are interested in trading, right? Because they could do that now. But when they see that personal benefit, I think that's really going to change everything.
I agree. Absolutely. I think Queen dropped off, but I think she dropped off to her. Okay, there she goes. Yep. So I agree. There's so much synergy that takes place, and to be able to put a face with a name, that connectivity, especially in real life at events, even. Last week, I happened to be at an event with Stand with Crypto, and I met this guy, Blinky, right? And Blinky's so funny. He came through, he was like, "Hey, I got this lip gloss," and so just I saw these long ponytails that were like in a Pocahontas style, and I thought, okay, this is cool. And so let me just talk to him. Come on over, and he wanted to talk to us about his product, and I said, well, are you local? And I think I actually had him on live stream even. Gave because I was streaming from this event, and he told me he's Washington, D.C. He drove up for the event. He had some product that he wanted to give, and it's non, you know, it's it was perfect for eczema. It was and so skin. So when you start to look at some of the impacts, being a black woman, my skin is so important to me and my daughters as well. And having, they can't just put anything on their skin, it has to be the right things. And especially when they start to form eczema, severely dry skin. So when he said, "Hey, I have these samples, I want you to try it. And here, it's real easy to find me. I accept all forms of payment." I was like, okay, well, we're going to try it. And fine. But in his marketing, he left me no way to contact him, right? There was no labels. I'm like, oh my God, here it is, some product that I'm willing to try. There's no labels, but okay. Like, this is kind of like when you're supporting up and coming and innovators, you're like, okay, let me just go after it and just kind of connect with people. I use that product, and I'm telling you, most people use Botox. A lot of people use Botox for their lips and face and everything, for their cheeks to pop. I use Blinky stuff, and I'm like, oh my goodness, it's like the fountain of youth. I feel it tightening up around the eyes. I was like, woo, I have found my person for this particular product. So it's really good. My kids like it too. So, I mean, shout out to Blinky, but it's getting out there and meeting these founders, looking at their product, connecting with real people in real life. And then I noticed he was in the space today. I was like, and then he's in the DM saying, hey, I met some people that you know. And then I'm like, Ryan's already told me that he met some people I know. I'm like, wow, look, it's such a small world in Web3, in metaverse, in AI, in crypto. And that's just one aspect of it, right? There's so much more. When I look at the policy side and I start to go to events and I'm sitting in the room and I'm saying, okay, whether it's decentralized, whether it's centralized, whether it's the sole proprietor, whether it's a self custody, whether I'm able to give my rights over to someone else and allow for them to manage my cryptocurrency, my fiat, my tokens, my stable coins. Like there's so much. So really getting in there and talking to states about what they're doing at the local level here in the US, I think is important as well. And hearing their perspective and also educating, right? I don't assume everybody knows a lot about this emerging technology in this industry. Even I don't know. So I need developers, I need content creators, I need founders that understand, that keep going and don't stop. I know it gets tough sometimes, but believe in yourself and don't give up and ask questions and reach out to other people. So, I mean, that's just, I could just go on and on, but that was just my response to what I heard Ryan say right there. It's great to connect with other communities.
Ryan, I wonder if that was Sheba King you were talking about. Does that sound right?
I don't know, because there's so many different off-brand,
He's really big in different communities. He used to be in Shib, back in the day, and he still kept the name, but he hops around all over the place. He hosts a lot of big spaces.
yeah, there's some kind of base Shiba too. I don't know if they meant that but
Yes,
I was just looking at the excitement of the name and how whether it was actually, Shiba or Shiba Army or even something that evolved out of that, the excitement was very visible from the people that, learned that whatever that group is, that they were there.
that's cool. I've
Yeah.
never been to the summit.
I guess it was only the second one, but everyone loved it, and it was like big enough to be something, but like not big enough to where, like, if you wanted to talk to everyone there and you made it a point, you probably could. And they actually compared it to not like a Bitcoin convention just by the size, but the amount of connections. And I talked to a lot of people there, but one of the guys said he had been to 26 hackathons and he never met anyone because they just went, wrote the code, and left. But this was like we had dinner together, breakfast, lunch. We were all in the same building. They would have little like not breakout sections because we were all in one group, but they would go and the base team UI UX girl told us all the what she knew and not everything, but gave us a little talk. So it was like experiences together that made it something cool.
Yeah,
Uh,
I love like that. It was so much more intimate. You get to know them so much better. Those
yeah,
immersion retreats, kind of. Yeah, those are so much fun. I'm glad you got to experience that.
thanks. Going to base camp and hopefully Miami. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. Love to
Yes,
just do that. Like one a month would be awesome.
yes, yes. Well, Yonda and I'll both be at Miami, so we'll hope to see you there. It's
Yeah,
gonna be it'll be big, I think. Justin Sun's headlining, and Luca Nets will be there, and it'll be fun.
excellent. That'd be
Absolutely, Ryan. And you can come if you want with the Genius Room. I have some press passes as well. So I'll be there as the press, and that's fun. So
perfect.
yeah, absolutely. I have to send in my logo. They notified me this past week, so I'm excited to be a part of East Women and Futurist Conference. So that's good. And then I know Crypto Queen and I were talking about, hey, how do we get to Art Basel? And she was like, I'm going. I was like, wait a minute, hold up, I want
Yeah.
to go too. And then I was talking to Adrian. I'm like, listen, I got to hit this Puerto Rico. So Puerto Rico is, I want to say, a couple days after Art Basel, and I want to say San Juan, Puerto Rico. And I know Adrian's speaking there. I'm like, I gotta be there too. So it's like, okay. And then I looked already into March 2026, and I'm going to the Digital Chamber Conference in Washington, D.C. And before all that happens, in a couple weeks, I'll be speaking at the Black Blockchain, the eighth annual conference for the Black Blockchain. So I'll be speaking on intellectual property. Some people might know I used to talk about Digital Millennial Copyright Act and how do you kind of take down notices, what that looks like specifically. No, I'm not an attorney or anything like that. I can read and comprehend, so therefore I get it and I apply it to myself. Also, I don't live too far away from Washington, D.C., so that's been fun to be a part of those things. So, yes, that is coming in Washington, D.C. at Howard University. So I look forward to going on that campus and offering some value. Genius Room is going to be present. Like, just keep going and keep going. So it's an honor. I'm telling y'all, it's a lot.
That is
It
a
is.
lot. Should vendor win conference?
What's that?
I said win conference.
Right.
We the fest with us.
Hopefully sooner than later. I got some things here in the home front to take care of, but I would like to, heck, just like what y'all were talking about, not only the learned experiences, but just to kind of see, experience, and do these different places around the world too as well. I know, like for you, Crypto Queen, with the Amsterdam, that's one of my destination points here eventually. With everything, but I just find I don't know. I don't know. I yeah. I'll go. I'll just say that. Whether I don't know if I want to be necessarily on the speaker level like you, but I would like to at least experience the conferences.
Yes, yes, you have to, Benderson. We did take him to Shiva Fest with us last year, but it was just a picture, a framed picture of Bender's profile, and we sat him on the table so he could be with us.
Thank you.
Yep,
I appreciate that. I'm always there in spirit, no matter what.
that's right.
This was so cool to spend maybe about just a little bit over an hour talking to each one of you. I wanted to highlight this point before we close down this particular live stream. So, the social audio space for the Genius Room, for the paid host, co host, semifinals just finished up. We thought we would jump on here and talk to you all around the world and kind of debrief and get to know one another a little bit more and get our take and our thoughts on what worked, but also to look at where we think this industry is heading and how we got our start so that you understand more about who we are and what our mission is with the Genius Room and what we're striving for as well. Now, stay with me for a second because I really want you to know this. Do y'all know the space ended on 3 hours and 33 minutes? Now,
Oh,
I don't know about y'all, but if you're into numbers, I'm into numbers, and I didn't plan that at all. And so, if you're thinking, like, okay, so it was 3 hours and 33 minutes. No, I really want you to understand what 333 means. So I was like, let me go ahead and let me look up 333 because I'm into numbers. I don't believe in, I think like there's indicators. And when I see numbers, I'm like, oh, okay, all right, I need to turn left now. Okay, let me go right now. Or, yeah, I'm headed in the right path. So just keep going forward straight. So I'm going to introduce you to a concept called spirit numbers for a second, okay? Now, spirit numbers, they have meanings, right? So, have you ever it's called your RAS, your reticular activating, I'm just going to call it zone at this point. And when your RAS, it's like when you buy a car and all of a sudden you buy this red car and now you see all these red cars on the road, the same make and model. You're like, wait a minute. I didn't even notice that prior to. That's called your RAS, your reticular activating zone, right? Abbreviation, because you now know it's really a system, but you now know that there are more red cars out there. So spirit numbers, they do the same thing. They clue you as an indicator when you start to see a series of numbers. I think they call it the Fibonacci. Okay. Anyway, let me move on now because I'll just get into this whole thing of all this stuff. All right. So the spirit number meaning for 333, because the space ended at 3 hours and 33 minutes, centered on support from spiritual guides, growth, and taking action. Seeing 333 is a sign to trust your intuition, align your body, your mind, and your spirit, and act on your goals. It encourages you to embrace personal transformation, express your creativity, and communicate yourself, your true self, with confidence. That's 333. Brought to you by Google on spiritual guidance.
Well, that was perfect, wasn't it?
It was. So, any closing thoughts before we close for today from you all?
I don't think so. Just thanks for taking time, you guys, to visit with us. And this was some good practice on camera. And we'll just keep trucking on. Excited for everything to come.
Yeah,
I
it was good.
totally agree.
It was good practice. I'm glad I know how this works. I barely use Restream, so that's good. And I'm excited for next week. These 7 days are so long, Yanda. Is there something we could do about this? I mean, it's like a lifetime goes by every week.
Can the devs do something?
Oh, oh, there's an idea right there. Huh. Yes,
uh,
they can.
yes,
You
they
know,
can.
I just Do you know 96 people tuned in? It just seems like I'm just talking to y'all. We're on a video call. We're just talking. I forgot that this is really streaming out to the world, by the way, on X and on YouTube. So we've had, oh my goodness, we've had 114 people tune in and listen to us, just, talk and get to know each other and share our perspectives with each other. So that means a lot, 115 now. So, and it's counting and growing. So again, thank you all.
Yeah.
Means a lot.
Kidding.
I know the 7 days are long, but it's just like your favorite show that you're watching, and you're like, oh my God, they leave you on a cliffhanger. You're like, no, come back next week. Tune in 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on X and on YouTube. Love y'all. Mwah. Talk soon. Bye bye.
Bye, guys.